Hey y'all, welcome back. In this video tutorial, I am going to cover how to ice your sugar cookies. If you followed our last video, we went through the recipe on how to create flawless sugar cookie icing. In this video, I'm going to cover how to dam, flood, and even use sprinkles to make flawless sugar cookies. Be sure to visit my website at www.genuinegrits.com. Be sure to subscribe to the newsletter and you can get our downloadable recipe with all the details. Hey y'all, so now we're back. We're now going to go through on how to pipe icing sugar cookies. We've already got our pre-made flood icing. We've got our damming sprinkles, cookies. I have a scraper, which is what I use to push the icing down into the bag. Just a sharp utensil to help get out some of the air bubbles in the icing. First thing we're going to do is start off with our damming icing. I put it into a bag. I'm using a number 2 Wilton tip. It's just a round circle. This is what we're going to use to ice the very edges. This will hold in the flooding icing. Just a quick tip. If you put your piping bag into a glass, you can actually fill it much easier without the mess. So all I do is fill it, pop out the bag, pull it up, and squeeze icing down into the piping bag. So to get started, the first thing we're going to do is outline the very edges of the cookie. Again, by using the corn syrup, this helps the elasticity of the icing so that it'll stick to the cookie and you won't get the breaks that you will if you don't use corn syrup. So just a little bit of light pressure, and you can see it comes out nice and even. If you miss a couple of spots or something breaks, you can always go back and correct that. Next, I put my filling icing into another Wilton bag. I did not use a tip on this. I just simply filled it, cut the tip off the end of it. Saves you a lot of cleanup in the end. Squeeze the icing down into the bottom of the bag. And you just want to fill along the edge where you just dammed it. I like to give a generous amount. Fill it in. And then at the end, I take my tool and I'll push it up against the edge of the damming icing. And if you find that you have any air bubbles that you can see, you can flip it over and use the sharp end. Last thing I like to do is take it and hold the cookie flat and just slightly tap it. If you do it too hard, your cookies are actually going to snap in half. And as they start to dry, they'll start to flatten out. If you have any edges that need to be cleaned up, I simply just run my finger along the edge of them. Clean it up. We're going to sit this on the rack, let it dry, and we'll check back a little later. So, a couple of things you can do if you end up having any imperfect cookies. This one has a little bit too much icing on it. It isn't quite evening out. One of the best ways to still keep it looking professional is to dip it in sugar. You can get colored sugar at most craft stores. They run anywhere from about $1 a pack upwards of $6 or $7, but it's a great way to fix cookies. Just dip it in. And if you have any that are a little bit misshaped after you've dipped them, you can go in and again adjust it with your finger. One thing to take note of is this icing will start to harden and crust over in between 5 to 10 minutes, so you want to dip it right away if you notice that you've got an imperfection. And there you have it. Hopefully you guys like this tutorial. If you have other ideas, please be sure to comment below. Also be sure to subscribe to our newsletter at www.genuinegrit.com. And until next time, see y'all later.